Matthew's Gospel holds it together with the words, not only the blessings all the way through, but these two brackets, they will inherit the kingdom of heaven, they will inherit the kingdom of heaven. So that's one thing I need to say. There's a holding it together. The second thing is that if it's holding those two together, the first and the last, either the first and the last are the same, or alternatively, they're the complete opposites. So if you want to make a series of statements and you put these two together and say they get the same outcome, they're either, to get the same outcome, they're either exactly... I wasn't there. And in every community, you know, there are people who come to your church and so on who never, people wouldn't even know whether they were there or not. If you ask them who was there on Sunday, they often don't know whether they were there or not because they're not significant. They don't stand up, they don't have anything to say, they're just quietly there, they come, they go. And in persecution, there are those like that who, for whatever reason, escape it and come through. But afterwards, they often feel guilt because I didn't do anything. I'm a survivor and others paid the price, but I didn't. You know what I mean? And they don't know what to do with themselves in a conflict after the conflict.
So I have a family man. It's the same?
Family man?
Same would be same.
Father and family man is the same?
Yeah, same. It's only spelling different.
Yeah, same.
Spelling different.
You put one hand here, one there.
Listener.
And then one with me.
Oh,
One with me.
wonderful. One
One with me.
encourager, listener.
You're all okay? Well, we've got a woman in the group, we've got two brothers that have just been having a fight with each other. We've got Canadians and we've got Pakistanis.
So I have a man of God.
Brother and man of God.
Well, if you've got a free hand, have you?
Yeah, you got a free hand.
Free hand, man of God.
What else have you got?
That's my identity.
Oh, you are मेरा वो daughter of God.
Son of God.
The community worker.
It doesn't matter. Well, what I just simply wanted to demonstrate to you, if I've got 60 people, and all these different people from different parts of the world, and all the different males and agendas and ages and so on, and I ask them to use their core identity, I get a whole community knotted together. And what I'm saying is that even just with 4 identities, and I use 2 of mine, there is networks and communication possibilities. So
That's right.
what happens in conflict is that in conflict relationships get broken and people get separated from each other. But what you've got to do as the networker, as the peace builder, is you've got to look at the networks and find ways to get from, see if there is a break there, for example. We can't get you two on common ground at the moment in terms of, well, we don't know, but at the moment you're not on common ground. But if we work through him and him and him, we can find a way to get you two connected.
3 people can...
Yeah. So, thank you very much, and I mean that is just a photograph of that. And what I'm trying to say to you, therefore, is that there, in peace building, people don't just have one identity. Because what conflict does, it does 2 things that seem to be opposite. In some ways it narrows identity. So a conflict increases and suddenly you're not one of us, you're different from me. You know, you're a different personality from me, we heard that before. And so suddenly the conflict is dividing, we're not just brothers, we're not just humans, we're not Pakistani brothers who are both got a Christian faith, we're not just part of the peace building network. Suddenly the conflict is narrowing our identity down to, and if you keep it going, it soon becomes narrowed down. It's come right down to whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. And the conflict goes on that basis. So sometimes it narrows it down. In other situations, it actually broadens the identity. And suddenly you're either from the West or you're from the Muslim world, or you're, because I'm a white man, I'm not an Australian anymore. when I go to Iraq or somewhere or other, I'm an American. If I'm not an American, then I'm an American sympathiser. Or I look like an American, or you're good enough for American, you come from a West, and you're a Christian, you're American, you're hated.
Yeah.
So suddenly your identity can be changed, it's seen in other ways. So sometimes the identity narrows, and sometimes it's sort of a debate going on as to which identity am I speaking out of? And how am I perceived by the other person? And where do I sit when I go to when I go to Pakistan, who am I when I went into Pakistan? White. And what does that mean? I'm rich. I've got a lot of money. What does it mean? I'm probably Christian. So what is and identified with American?
Yes.
But I'm not an American. And my perception of my wealth might be that I'm not rich, or that I am rich, or whatever. But without having any information about who I am, I'm rich. Without having any information about me, I'm American sympathiser, or American identity. So we do see people through identities. And what God has done is revealed himself to us in a multitude. And the Muslims, they got 99 names for God. And there were people, by the time we got into that 10 minutes of conversation, of that little role play that we were inventing as we were going, there were people, 2 women were actually crying. Because we were 2 boys that had fallen in love with each other, grew up together, had all this precious time together, but then the nationalism movement made me into his enemy. And my father, our house was burnt down and we had to leave. I've never been able to go back. And David wanted to take me back and restore that relationship that we had as children. But just through that little letter, that's a make-up story. But you can hear what I'm saying is that we did discover together, we too had a common humanity. All we were doing was I was appealing to the fact that he was a boy and I was a boy, and when we grew up together we played somewhere. We lived on different continents, miles away, but I grew up in the village, he grew up in the village. We were 2 little boys, village kids, same humanity. I'd like you to go and sit down and make some notes of what you just experienced, or what you think happened either in this exercise or in all this storytelling. Sorry about that.
You can cry with your wake up stories. Wow. Wow.
Close our eyes. Lord Jesus, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful teaching that you gave to Brother Ian to share with us. Lord, we here preparing ourselves, training ourselves to be a peacebuilders. Help us, guide us, and give us the proper tools that we need to use in the field of peace. Be with all of us. Give us your understanding, your knowledge, and help us to grow. Let the harmony and the love that we are in be always be with us. Lord, we come to you. We thank you for Reverend Ian Stebbins, who has been a source of knowledge for us, and who you gave the understanding in your knowledge.
Thank you for receiving me, and thank you for receiving the baton.
Thanks Ian for coming down, and we appreciate your energy and your passion that is still at its peak. And we also thank everyone who come along, and Baba, Manuel, Stephen, Sana, and Pastor Boys for hosting us all and tolerating us all for so long. And I know it's
Thanks
it's
to
hard
his.
for the whole family even, they are
Yeah, that's right. They are stuck inside, so
yes,
really we
locked in and just allowing us to have a peaceful atmosphere to continue a meaningful discussion. Our next plan is we will continue on this in June. Ian is coming on 4th of June. We are having a meeting, and if you could check with your diary, and we can confirm with the guys other ones. So I was thinking we could coincide our meetings with the